have a beautiful head.
Yes, it will complete our collection nicely.
Don't be afraid. Come closer. Take a candy.
And let's carve up some fun this night. Our treats are crafted from your darkest nightmares.
They're hiding in the shadows. They will play with me forever and ever.
Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. It is Ficus Friday once again today. So today I'm going to work on my ficus cutting of a cutting. I've been working on this tree for many years now, and it's still not a tree that I'm really passionate about. I think it still needs work on the roots, and I think it still needs lots of work on the structure of the tree. So I'm hoping that someday it becomes a really nice ficus bonsai, but at this point in time it's kind of like, it's sort of a tree I like but I don't love. So today I'm going to prune it up and repot the tree, and hopefully I can take steps today to get it to become a better and better looking tree. Here is a look at the tree now, and I picked out a pot for it, and it's quite a bit bigger and deeper. I think that'll help kind of stimulate growth in the tree. It did fine in this pot. This is one I made, but I think it could use a little more soil volume. I notice on ficus that if they're kind of restricted, the roots and that, and the amount of soil, that when the branches grow, instead of keeping all their leaves, it tends to shed off the older ones, and you really only get strong growth at the tips. So the branches kind of become bare. Whereas a really strong tree tends to keep more of the older leaves, and it gets fuller and denser. So I think the bigger pot will help it. So I'm going to work on the root base too. I did a lot of root work last year. At about this time, I repotted it, and you can see there's a root kind of growing up out of the soil there. And the root system is not very radial and flowing, so I'm going to try and do some corrections on it today. Originally this was the front of the tree, and I've kind of picked this as the front now. I have a good leader coming forward, kind of a back branch here. So yeah, there's lots of work to go on this tree before it becomes a beauty. I'm going to start today by pruning up the structure of the tree, and then once that's all pruned up, I'll repot it and do all that root pruning. So here I go. So I'm going to begin with obvious branches, like I'll start on this lowest branch, and I have a dead portion here that I can prune away. I can prune this one to a downwards facing leaf, like that. I've got another dead shoot on the inside here. I can prune that away, like that. There's another dead branch in between these two that I'll prune away, and I'll clean that stub up also. Oh, it just fell off. And then I'll want to prune these branches. I've got an outwards facing leaf here, so I can at least prune it here, and I may go shorter. This one I can prune back to here. I may go shorter on these. I'm just kind of doing an initial pruning, and then I'll step back and have a look at the tree. I can prune this one off here. And then I've got a vertical one growing straight up here I'll take off, like that. So that's kind of roughly got the lower branch pruned up. I've got a stub here I could take off. Yeah, so I'm going to kind of do a rough pruning, and then I'll come back and look at the tree and decide if I need to take branches back further. I may end up, doing some fairly major pruning, taking branches back to just the woody part of the branch without any leaves. Out the back here, I have I've got this branch. You can see it kind of cascades a bit. And then I have some new branches just above it coming out the back. There's a dead one in the middle I can take out. And then I've got to decide, do I want any of these branches? I doubt it because they're so close together. This one would be opposite this branch, and this one comes straight out the back. I think I'll just take those off. I think they're not really useful. So they come right off. Like that. And then, on this branch, I can prune it back to here. To prune it. I've got a stub here. This one, it's pretty long, but I'll take it back to a leaf for now. And I have another stub here I can prune from the last time I pruned it. And this one I can take back to an outwards facing leaf. Actually, I'll take it to here. So I have two outwards facing leaves. Then I have a new branch kind of here. It's opposite this one, and it's kind of getting close to the inside of a curve, so I'm going to take that one off. And then on this branch, you can see I have kind of a horizontal part and then two new vertical shoots coming up, so I'm going to take those both right off, the vertical ones. And I'll clean up those stubs, taking them back so they heal nice and flush. Now I've got to get in here. That's good there. And then on this branch, oh, I've got a stub there I got to clean up from last time I pruned it. Like that. And then on this branch I have a more horizontal part, and this one's kind of continues a straight line here, so I'll take it off to at least here. Like that. So that's getting the lower part of the tree pruned up. Now I'm getting into the upper canopy. So I've got kind of a strong back branch here. Or sorry, that's the front. I've got to keep this straight. This is the front. So I've got a good strong kind of leader to the canopy out front. And then the back part's getting too tall to be a back branch. I kind of want it equal to this front one so it builds kind of a rounded canopy. So anything kind of growing vertically I can take off. Like I think this whole section here. And I'll zoom in for a close-up of this. Yeah, this tree is very similar, the front to the back. Yeah, there's a section growing straight up here that I'm going to take off. It takes three of those branches off. And my idea is to kind of flatten this back branch out more. So here I have a shoot growing towards the inside of the tree. I'll take that out totally. And, I'll take it back a bit further there. And I can clean this stub up like that. And then I think this branch is dead on top here, so I'll take it off. Like that. And I've got a stub here I can clean up. And this branch is getting very long. I'll prune it back to here, and I have a feeling I'll be taking that back further. It's just getting too long. Now let's rotate to the back of the tree, right here. So you're looking at the back, and I want to keep it flatter. So here, there's an extension of this branch it divides here and here, so I can take out the middle part to stop it continuing growing straight. I'll prune this branch back to here, and this one can come back to here. I've got another branch growing here that's directly above the one below it, and it's kind of growing to the middle, towards the middle, so I'll take that off. I've got a dead branch here I can take off, a dead one here. Okay, now out the back here I have two crisscrossing branches. So I do have a bud here, one on the bottom. I think I'll take this one off here. And this one, it's not a bad branch. Let me see. I don't think I need this one at all here. I'm going to take it right off. This is a better branch, this one. Like that. Okay, I'm back to the front now. So on that back branch, I have a very tall vertical one here. And I want to reduce that. I have buds way back on the branch. I've got a good one facing outwards here. So I'll take it off to at least that one. That. Now I'm looking at the structure up front here. This one, I have a branch. It divides from 1 to 3 here, and I have one up the middle and then 2 spreading out. I think I'm going to take out the middle one. That'll give me taper and movement. That comes off. I can at least tip prune this one, like that. And the others, they grew, but not really strongly. So I don't think I'd want to do any more pruning in this area. In fact, there's a dead branch here I can take out. That just broke off. Yeah. Okay, so now I better step back and have a look at the overall styling of the tree. So I'm taking a look at the tree. So this branch out front here, there's a little dead one there. It's too long. I'm going to take it back quite hard. So it kind of is fairly horizontal till about here, then it goes up. So I'm going to take it off there. Like that. That helps. Stop there. And then that back branch is too tall. It's way too tall. So I think I'll take off this vertical part here. I'll just nibble away the branches first. Clear them out of the way, and then I can come in and take the stub off. Like that. Now, then, this branch is swooping up too much. I've got some buds back here, so I can take it off to here. That kind of helps balance the canopy out. This branch is getting way too long. And I've got a nice kind of cascade branch there. I wonder, should I take it off there? That would look quite nice. Or maybe I'm wiser to leave a stub. I'll take it off short and see what happens. kind of, if this develops nicely, I can keep that and prune this away eventually. I don't want to weaken this branch and have this one die off, so that's the reason I'm kind of keeping a stub there. I could take it back further, but I think that's a good safe amount. This branch is getting too long. It's fairly straight in this section. I've got some buds on the bottom there. I could take it back short, and I think I will. Like that. I've kind of got some crisscrossing branches here. So I've got to decide what I'm doing. You can see the branch comes up and this upper part comes out, and then I've got a lower part. So do I remove the upper part? I think so. It would give me a little better taper. So I'll remove that upper part, and that'll avoid my intersection of those branches. Like that. Now, this one's getting too long. I've got a bud on the bottom here, so I'll take it back. This one's getting too long. I'll take it off here. And the other one, it's also kind of getting long. It doesn't have much taper. It's got some movement. I think I will also take it back to here. Quite short. Like that. Now, so I'm just looking at this structure up here. This branch kind of comes straight out the front, which is not ideal. I think I better take that one off, the one that's coming straight out the front. I think that'll be a problem in the future. This one's not bad. And then this part fans out nicely, and this one, it's a little tall. I've already pruned it, but you can see this branch is kind of growing over top of this one. Let me see what I should do there. I could eliminate that whole branch. It's a little, if I keep this one's kind of running parallel to it. If I got rid of this one, it's kind of, I won't build my canopy very well. I'm kind of leaning to taking this one off. It's kind of on the inside of a curve here, and it's growing over top of this branch. This is a better branch here. I think I will take it off. I think that's the solution. So here I go. Like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I kind of, at this junction, I kind of have three branches. This one, the back one, and this one. These two flow better than this one. It's kind of 90 degrees to the trunk or the branch. I could take that one off. I think I will. Again, it'll be a future problem. Like that. Now, how is that looking? Yeah, the structure's flowing quite nicely. It spreads out nicely. I don't think this is a problem, this branch and this branch kind of coming out, because they do fan out nicely from the middle. Now my lowest branch here, it's getting a little upright and long. So if this is the front, this one's kind of coming straight out the front. I better take it off. It gets rid of one part. And then here I have two branches. I could take out the middle one. I'll at least take it off to this junction here. Like that. And this one's kind of the inside of a curve. I better take that one out too. Like that. And then the other two branches out the back, they're kind of getting long and straight. I kind of like, you know, this is kind of in the middle. It's kind of like monkey in the middle. I'd rather develop branches off this section and get rid of this one, so I think I will. Get in there a bit better. If I can. Yeah, I can. There. And then I think I need to take this one off shorter. So let's look at it from the front. It's a little tall. I have a leaf back here, so I know the branch is vigorous. I've got a scar here. I'll take it off right here. Okay. I think I've taken that back to a very pleasing structure, I think. I think that looks quite nice. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So I'll just rotate it around so you can see it from all angles. So here's the front, right hand side, the back, left hand side, and back to the front. So this will go back in the plant room, and it's nice and humid in the plant room. There's good grow lights above it. It should do quite well. That's the reason I'm confident I can repot it. Usually at this time of the year when the trees go into the plant room, because of the humidity and it's a little less light than outdoors, they tend to grow roots like crazy. Aerial roots and roots over the surface of the soil. So it should recover from the repotting quite quickly. For a small tree, I took a lot off today. This is like 1 year's growth. Yeah, quite a bit. Wow. Yeah, so that's a look at the tree. So next step is to get it out of the pot and do the root pruning. Okay, it is time to get the tree out of the pot now. I wonder if it'll just lift out. Yes, it does. A good mat of roots on it. So that's good. So I'm not too early with the repotting. If it had all kind of crumbled away the soil, you know you're a little early with the repotting. So next, I will get out my root rake and start removing all the soil. I'll be bare rooting the tree and examining all the roots and trying to get an improved root base. I think I've improved the top structure of the tree today. So hopefully I can do some root work and get the roots underway also. Now it's quite cold out today. The high is 9 degrees Celsius, which is about 49 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere around there. So pretty cool, but I think I'm okay dunking the tree in the water to clean the roots off. I don't think it'll be too much of a shock for it. Okay, I think I've got the roots pretty well combed out and most of the soil removed, so I will take it outside to the washing station. I won't take the camera because it's so cold outside, and then when I bring the camera back into the greenhouse, it'll cause it to fog up. Here is a look at the root base. and yeah, I'll rotate it around. A lot of good roots. So I did some pretty big cuts on the roots last time, and you can see all the roots that grew around the cut points, which is quite good. So I'm going to start by combing the roots out in a radial pattern, and then I can do a profile prune to the roots, getting the long, vigorous ones trimmed back, kind of equalizing the balance of the roots. Yeah, you can see some of those ones are pretty long. Okay. Yeah, so I'll come in now and just kind of do a profile prune on the roots, kind of trimming them all back. Getting them more in check. So they're still pretty long and vigorous here. I'll take that back further. The roots look good and healthy. I don't see any problems. Okay, now it's got the roots roughly pruned back, so let me take away all these excess roots here. Kind of recomb them. So the roots are combed out once again, and you can see I have this root sticking up, straight up, and then it goes down into the soil. I'm going to start there, removing this root that's sticking up out of the soil. So I'll prune that off. That's one major root correction. So the problem with this root system is I've got a big thick root up top and then finer roots down below. And you can see on this root I did a lot of kind of corrective work, cutting it off quite shallow. But this root's still very high compared to some of these other roots. This root too is big and thick and very high. It's a bit of a problem. This root, it doesn't really flow very well into the original cutting. It's kind of got a line here, and you can see the line here from the original cutting. Root system's better up back. And this still could become the front of the tree someday, but yeah, it's a bit of a problem, this root base. So what to do is the question. If this is the front of my tree, well, I've got to correct it. That's what I have to do. Let me show you a lower shot of that. So there is a shot of the root base, and you can see how high this root is compared to some of these lower radial ones. There's a bug there. So what can I do? Can I cut this root off on an angle? I sure can. I think that's where I'll start. I think I've got to do a big cut. Bury the tree. It should generate new roots coming out from the cut point. It'll leave kind of a scar, but I find in the ficus that the roots kind of grow around it, and eventually it looks really good. They kind of can make the root base look even better, actually. It gives it a lot of interest. So I think that's the first step, is cut this on an angle, getting rid of that really high root. I don't know if I can keep this one out front. I'm kind of thinking not. Could I? Maybe I can if I come in here. Okay, here I go. This is a big root cut coming up. Taking the whole thick end off that root. And there's the scar I'm left with. So, let me have a look from down low now. It's definitely an improvement. So I'm going to kind of nibble it away a bit here, just to make the transition a little better. Kind of joining up the old cut there with the new one. Okay. So, big cut. Now, I've never tried rubber cement on it, but I think I will today on the top of that. I don't know if I need to, but I'm going to try it as an experiment and just see what happens. So that's coated in rubber cement. Maybe I could put a little more on down over here. Maybe it'll preserve that wood a little more, I don't know. This is my last cut from last year and it seems okay. Didn't really rot or anything. Okay, so there's one big correction to the root system. And yeah, I don't know if I was wise leaving that one. I guess so. I don't know. I don't think it'll hurt. And then the other side is a bit of a problem too. You can see it's very thick and cylindrical. So I could at least take the top part off that root. So I think that's my next step. So here comes another big root cut. Again, I'll try and keep that one out the front here. Okay, here I go. A big cut coming up. Just like that. Taking that end off. Still doesn't flow very well into the soil, but it's better. I may have to take away a bit more from the top here. Ficus roots are all about flow, getting them smooth and flowing and snake-like. I think that looks better. Yeah. Okay, well, the root base is making progress. So let me have a look from the front now. Okay. It's definitely progressing. Now, could I flatten it out more? I could take some off the bottom here. You can see it kind of bulges down a bit here, whereas the other roots are a bit higher. So I could remove some material from the bottom. So, here I go. I said I wanted to make this a tree that I really like, and these are the steps I think I need to do to achieve that. Pretty drastic, but it should recover quite well from this. Okay, That should sit flatter. It does, it's not bad. I'm still kind of high over on this side. There's some root hanging down too low. Right here and here. That's better. Still need more off under this side here. That should be better. That's much better. You can see it's all sitting kind of flat on the radial roots now. It actually looks quite nice from the front. I'm quite pleased with the root base. Yeah, this one's a little thick. You can see it tapers from really thick to very thin because it was a thick root that I cut off on an angle. I could see in the future maybe dividing that into two, taking a V-shaped section out of the middle. But for now, I'm going to leave it, let it strengthen up and heal. Now, I'll put some rubber cement on that other cut over here too. This one, it's pretty big. And I've never put rubber cement on the bottom, but today, why not? We'll try it out. I don't know if it does anything, but if you don't experiment, you don't learn. Okay, I think I'm just trying to see if there's any more root correction I need to do. I don't think so. I think the next step is just to let the roots grow and recover. I don't think I want to do any more than that. Get that bug off of there. It's a pill bug. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Here's a look at the root base from kind of above now. So some pretty big cuts on it. But they should heal and recover quite nicely. That pill bug's still there. And here's what I took off today. So some pretty thick roots, but other than the two big thick ones, not much, just the profile pruning and that one that was sticking up. Yeah, so the tree should be fine. So now I've got to clean up that pot and get it repotted. I've got the pot cleaned up. I got my Chris Marshall drainage screens in the bottom. So I'm just going to try the tree out in the pot. Yeah, that's a pretty good size for it. And it's a little deeper. I think the roots will like growing down into the pot. A little more soil volume. I think the tree will grow with quite a bit of vigor in this pot. So I'll get a base layer of soil in. My root base is pretty flat, so I'll have to cover up some of it and eventually kind of slowly raise the tree to expose those roots. But for now, they'll be kind of half buried. Yeah, so I'll get kind of a layer of soil on the bottom, put the tree on top, and kind of put more soil around the roots. Okay, I'm filling the pot up with soil. I'll just put a bit of a mound. I'm not sure where the tree will go, which side of the pot. I don't want it right on center, but let's have a look. So, pretty flat on the bottom of the root base. So I will kind of place it there, and then I'll position the tree in the pot. So the tree with that branch, that low branch coming out, I would want it offset to the left-hand side. Just a bit. Yeah, I think right about there. So the center line of the pot is about here, and the tree is just offset a bit. Now, that is too high. All my roots are kind of sticking up above the pot, so I need to lower it. And I have a chance to slightly change the angle if I want. I don't think I want to. I want to keep that root base flat on the bottom. So that's a little higher than the tree was in the old pot. You can see the old soil line was here. So maybe just a little deeper. And I've got to check. I could come back just slightly in the pot. How's that looking? I think that's fine. The pot's pretty big for this tree, but I do want it to regain vigor and grow quite well. So I'll comb out my roots, make sure they're sorted out, and you can see I've got to trim the odd root that is too close to the edge of the pot. I like to have a little room. I don't like scrunching them in. Yeah, so I'll do a little trimming. So I find my scissors, here they are. Just getting those long ones pruned back a bit. One, couple back here. That's pretty good. So I'll show you that from above. So here's a look how the tree's fitting in the pot. It's quite nice. Yeah. I don't think I'd want a smaller diameter pot than that. And I think all the roots are going to be safely in the soil. I think that's a pretty good height for the tree. So I'll fill in the top layer now. Okay, I'm having a look at the tree. Yeah, I think all is quite well. I think it's good height in the pot. I think position in the pot is fine. Yeah, I'm happy. So I am going to water the tree now. So here I go. Here is a look at the tree now. So here's the current front. So I'll rotate it around. So coming around to the right hand side, to the back, to the left hand side, and back to the front. I did some drastic work to my ficus today. A lot of heavy root work, pruning up the top. But ficus is a species that can recover quickly as long as you keep it in good conditions, good light, water it well, keep it warm, good humidity, and they tend to recover very quickly. So fingers crossed on this tree, I'm sure it'll do well. So I think it made quite a transformation today. I can see this becoming a favorite of mine in the future. I think that root base, getting that sorted out, was a big step forward. I think the upper structure is looking better every year. Yeah, so I think I'm quite happy with the tree now. I was a little discouraged before. It was needed a lot of work, and today I did it, and I think it's on the right track once again. So that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.